right, let's talk about my biggest pet peeves is all the college football experts the self-professed college football experts like Simon Diamond that start talking about the rankings way too early. Okay, and bro, you're trying to talk up Notre Dame. Well, what week are we in here? Was this week 9 of the college football?
Week 9.
How much time do we have left? How many more games are left?
Week 9. We got 4 weeks.
Okay.
And then you got the playoff round.
Okay, let me hear your top 4 right now.
Right now?
Let me hear your top 4, and let me hear based on your prognostications. Let me hear your 4 playoff.
My
games.
own personal top 4 of what I've seen. Georgia number 1, Alabama number 2. Clemson 3 and Notre Dame 4.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with Clemson, and I'm not going to argue with you on Notre Dame, but I'm going to put myself in the committee's shoes. And what the committee has done in the past is their main contributing thing is the quality of wins. All right? And I'm telling you right now, so far this year, the top 2 quality wins in college football have been Ohio State over Penn State and
Georgia over Notre Dame.
And Oklahoma over Ohio State at the time. Okay? Georgia over Notre Dame is looming as the third choice. Okay? And I would definitely agree. Bro, let me tell you something. Okay? Ohio State's got some good teams left on the schedule. Clemson's Clemson, if Virginia Tech wins out and then Clemson beats Virginia Tech again, that's a maybe. And Virginia Tech might be able to sneak in if they can beat Clemson. Okay?
Virginia Tech, I know Konnan doesn't
they're total dark.
They're going to beat Miami.
If Oklahoma wins, Miami can win out. Okay, so the one thing we know with the playoffs at the end is a 0 or a 1-loss team is all that gets in. Okay, 2 losses, you're done. So if we're going to look at the 1-loss teams, bro, let me tell you something. If Alabama goes undefeated and Georgia beats them, bro,
they're out.
They're out. Yes. Okay, let me tell you why, bro. They first of all, they don't have a quality win yet. And you know who else didn't have a quality win? Who beat FSU Alabama beat FSU. FSU stinks. You know what I'm saying? That was everybody thought was that quality win. That win is a nothing. You know, they haven't played anybody yet.
Let me tell you 2 games that I saw this week that you might have seen the same. I know one of them you did for sure, Pat. See if you have any comments. Did you see the Penn State Ohio game?
Yes.
All right. How could you not, right? You have 2 Heisman candidates.
All the games were on at the same time. There were tons of great games on at the same time, too. Yeah.
Right. So
it was nonstop back and forth.
Yeah.
Right. So
between Notre Dame and NC State and Ohio State, Penn State flicking channels.
Right. So you had a chance to watch, we've known Barrett is great, but you had a chance to watch JT Barrett, who was a stud in that game. And then they were down in the fourth quarter, 35-20. Bro, not only just what a comeback, but the way they held Saquon Barkley, who is a stud, to less than 50 yards. That guy, Nick Bosa, who's Joey Bosa's brother, is going to be great.
They have a top 5 D line in the country. I mean, I would say Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State are the 3 best D lines in the country. I mean, Ohio State. I mean, how many titles for loss do they have? I mean, I was flicking back and forth, and I saw at least 8 to 10 the time I was watching it. I mean, it seemed like every other play in the fourth quarter, there's 2-3 guys in the backfield.
Yeah, I watched one and DVR'd the other, but bro, yeah, he had like 4 touchdowns. Then I watched the Notre Dame North Carolina game just to see what we will be going up against because, as you know, the last team we lost to about 11 games ago was to Notre Dame, and plus I also remember the last team you guys had lost to. No, last year you guys lost to North Carolina, right?
State, yes, in the monsoon, yes.
Right. And I wanted to see how one of the top run defenses did against Josh Adams, which was basically nothing. They just watched him go by. Bro, that guy's a big play threat at any time. And, I just can't wait.
Here's why. and I've.
Oh, you got a great offensive line, bro.
It's the best in the country. I think, too, the other thing now that is the wide receiver Stepherson is back because he was suspended for the first 4 games, but no one talked about it. It was just he didn't play. Right. But now all of a sudden he's playing, and he's the speed guy, so he can take the top off off the defense. So now you have to account speed-wise for him. The week before against USC, he had a touchdown, and he had three. They ran three jet sweeps with him, and I think he had 3 carries for 40 yards or something. So now you got to account vertically, and they're moving guys against. I don't know what their offensive game plan was against Georgia, but it was horrific. They were just running into the line. They weren't moving. They weren't trying to move the ball horizontally across the line. Now they're moving guys, and teams are inching closer to the line of scrimmage. So once Adams gets by that initial line, it's a foot race, and he's going to win 8 out of 10 foot races.
So we're at mid-season for football, right? College football, basically.
We're past.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give me your mid-season national championship game.
Dude, give me your Final Four. Give me your Final Four, because I got mine.
I think Georgia beats Alabama. I really do.
Wow.
Okay. I think they have a better run game. I think their offense is going to be better than Alabama. So I'm going to say Georgia beats Alabama. So then it's going to go. So Georgia will be 1. I think Notre Dame wins out. I think they're going to be 2. And the only reason I think they're going to be 2 is because they want to avoid any type of rematch with Georgia until the final game. Then I think you slot Clemson into 3, Ohio State at 3, and then Clemson in at 4. And then I would tell you my national championship game out of those 4 would be, I'll say Georgia, Ohio State.
All right.
And I think flip a coin.
Okay, here's mine.
I'd go with Georgia from what I've seen.
Here's mine. I don't know because Fromm's not being asked to throw a lot of passes, but let me tell you, Alabama's got a game coming up at Mississippi State. Okay.
Yes.
Mississippi State needs to challenge them because Alabama can't go into that Georgia game against that defense without being battle tested. They haven't been battle tested yet, and it's it's not a good. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to play for 3 months, and the next thing you know, you have to play against the best defense in the country. You'll get beat. You know what I'm saying? Mississippi State needs to play them tough so they can get ready for Georgia. All right. The winner of the Georgia-Alabama game is going to be number 1. All right. Number 2.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. I think they're going to sneak in with these 2 quality wins coming up. If Oklahoma beats Oklahoma State and TCU, bro, with that other win over Ohio State, I'm going to have them at number 2, just because the committee's going to look at those. That's 3 quality wins. Okay. Ohio State 3. And I think if they went out, okay, and Notre Dame number 4. I think Clemson.
Unless Georgia wins.
Here's the thing, because Clemson, bro, the FSU Louisville. Well, they got to be Miami. Yeah, actually, you know what? It's going to be strange. It's going to be tough this year. If you have those, if Oklahoma, Clemson, and Ohio State all have 1 loss, and Notre Dame has 1 loss, the committee's going to have a lot of problems trying to figure out which team.
Yeah, but the only thing is. The thing is Notre Dame has demolished everyone they played. I mean demolished. And because I watched.
Why did they have such trouble with Georgia? They kept running the ball right into the teeth of their defense every time.
A couple things. First and foremost is Brandon Warmbush was starting his 2nd game as a starter. Let's not forget that.
Right.
Everyone forgets that. They like to talk about how it was Fromm's first game. Well, it was only Brandon Wimbush's 2nd. He missed a lot of open receivers that day. And they didn't have that wide receiver, Stefferson, who's, he's a difference maker. You take that guy off the field, you don't really have to worry too much about a deep threat now.
Well, here's you have to worry about though. Who's left on Notre Dame's schedule? They could test them.
Miami. So they got Wake
Forest.
Oh yeah,
okay, yeah. Okay, no, that's a quality win, but. I was going to say if Miami loses a couple more games and USC loses a couple more games, Notre Dame's in trouble there because your quality of wins goes down.
The key to Notre Dame's season is Stanford, who they play at Stanford the last game of the year, because Stanford could position themselves with to be playing for the Pac-12 title. See, and the week before, here they're playing there.
Right, that's why I can't stand when people look at the rankings today and they say they make a judgment okay, the playoffs should start today. These are the 4 best teams. No, that's not how they're doing it anymore. It's this is all just that's why the committee. That's why the committee waits so long to start ranking these teams, so we don't have to talk this nonsense so often. At the end of the year, you're going to count up the quality wins, subtract the quality losses, the quality loss, and you're going to have your Final Four. And I just think it's too early to.
I think Notre Dame has the best loss, quote unquote loss, and I think the second best loss is Clemson, because Clemson can say, "Well, our starting quarterback got hurt."
Bro, this is how much of a Hurricane fan I am. I actually watch Florida State and Florida when they're losing, which they're doing a lot of now, just to watch them get destroyed. Right. I loved when Georgia was piling it on Florida, and it was 42-7, and I just kept thinking, not only are you going to get crushed, that coach, his days are numbered. You know what I'm saying?
Done.
Yeah.
Done.
Bro,
you're not like the SEC fans who root for each other.
Right.
Well, what do you think about Kelly now? Okay, because last year, all right,
you were
wrong. Very critical.
I'll be the first one to. Well, here's what let's be honest. Here's what he did. You go 4-8. The gun's to your head. You got to produce. So he gutted the program.
He changed a lot of coaches, right? And he went back to a run game. Right?
The most important hire was the strength and conditioning coach, Matt Balis from Mississippi State. He was the most important hire because I'd said for years a lot of these guys don't pass the eye test to me. And now I'm looking at them and I'm going, wow, these guys passed the eye test. He was the most important. The second most important was the defensive coordinator, Mike Elko, who, I mean, everyone's raving about Notre Dame's running game. Their offense hasn't given up more than 20 points in a game. I mean, their defense hasn't given up more than 20 points in a game. And it's just fundamentals. They're fundamentally sound. And so I got to tip my cap to him. He gutted the program. He hired the right guys. It's, I'm still in shock, to be honest with you. And I'm still not 100% sold on them. But
are you a fan? 98. Are you a fan of when the Hurricanes have an interception or a turnover and they put the chain on them now?
No,
No, it's tremendous. I am
absolutely
not.
That is
tremendous,
bro. That is Miami.
That is so Miami. I love it.
It's horrible.
It's 1,000%.
Miami.
Welcome to the U.
Miami is a heel team.
Exactly.
And they're using heel tactics, and that should never change, ever.
And the defensive coordinator is a Cuban guy, Manny Diaz. You know what I'm saying? And from
Miami,
you love, of course.
It's like Notre Dame. They're running down the field at will against NC State in the last 3 minutes of the game. It's 8 yards a clip, and now the clock's winding down. And I'm watching the game with my dad, and he goes, "I'd really love to see him get 40." And I said, and I know, there's no way Notre Dame runs up the score. That's not happening because they just don't do that.
Right.
And sure enough, they're on the 3-yard line and they take a knee to run the clock out.
Bro, let me ask you a question. What is it?
Bro, did you see the coach in the Michigan Penn State game waving them in to score another touchdown with like 15 seconds left? Did you see that?
Yes. Yeah.
Bro, and what happened to them the next week? Well, karma bit him right in the ass.
Right. All right, my brother. Right. I want to thank you very much again.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
All right. Be cool.